Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first semifinal of the 50th annual Dieppe Classic in the women's division. We have the CPA Cheetahs and the Mathieu-Martin Vedettes in a rematch of last year's gold medal game in this very same division. The Vedettes looking to repeat as champions, while the CPA Cheetahs look to get back to the gold medal game and try to get a different result and take home the banner back to Halifax. And here we go. Vedettes control the puck here. Como moving up the ice. He's hounded by some cheetahs. CPA looking to get the first opportunity of the game here. So far, the Les Vedettes really dominating the forecheck here. Vedettes controlling the puck, misplayed pass, back into their zone. And fashionably late, as always, my co-commentator, Braden Alain.
No, we're locking in, having to rush from the bench. Here we go. First semifinal action. It's the 1-4 game. The Vedette going a perfect 3-0. The Cheetahs, I believe, 1-2 or 2-1. Regardless, both teams clashed here at the Uni. The first elimination game at the red line. It's going on. The battles up between two Cheetahs.
No more room for mistakes here as we enter the final stages of this tournament. Win or go home. Banner on the line. Well, not on the line tonight, but an opportunity to play for the banner is on the line for these teams.
And I imagine you probably mentioned this. It's a rematch from the finals last year. The two teams, Mathieu-Martin and CPA, met up in the finals last year, and it was Les Vedettes that took that one. Boudreau trying to settle that one in front. It was knocked away by McLean. Cheetahs outside the zone here as they surge through the middle. Walking in, cutting to the slot. There's the shot. And that one turned away by LeBlanc as it just went wide. Robichaud waiting in her own end. Throwing this one up along the boards. She's just chasing after it. Out in the hash marks. And covered up.
The Mathieu-Martin Vedettes have really put together such a dominant program over these last couple years. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've had, I think, 3 or 4 straight provincial appearances and a few provincial banners alongside the Dieppe Classic banner of last year.
And not to talk about just their girls team, their boys team as well. They have been a repeat. They have won the provincial championship twice in a row the past 2 years. And in the third year, they made it to the finals where they took a defeat to the Black Cats. Feeney stepping up, trying to go through to Cheetahs, falling down there, McIver, and she'll score herself. Kid is in the net. Now the net's finally off.
The Mathieu-Martin Vedettes deciding to rest some of their starters. As you can see, number 4 and number 9, 2 affiliated players here. And in net for Les Matadors, Les Vedettes, Marika Leblanc.
They're sliding into the lineup for Les Vedettes, number 4, Alexis Fenny, number 9, Emma Landry. Affiliate players tonight in the semifinals. They turn around at the ring-out line, goes up the blue line, almost kept in, but sent out by Nelson. Up across. Thrown in the middle, it's Lizette. Leaving this one off, head manning it for whoa, and a good poke check. Behind the play is Dixon. Avery Nelson into the zone. Stuck behind by LeBlanc. Lizette, again, he goes up the wall. Cheetahs find it at their own blue line. Across ice pass. Clearing it in. LeBlanc behind the net. Again, comes out to rest it. Gauvin racing behind the net. The backhand up. Flutters through center. Back for Gauvin. They play a little game of catch. Gauvin pass up, trying to get down over to Bernal. Through center, shot back in by Dixon. Plenty of game of catch here in the early stages of the first. Trying to wind her way through center there was Peck. Loose puck brought and shot by Dixon. It'll find its way behind the net of Leblanc. It's Gauvin out in the corner. Turning back, then turning again. Taken down. The Vedettes had wanted a penalty on that. They surge out of the zone, chipped off the boards. They race for it to negate icing, and it's just negated at the last second. Cheetahs recover and reload behind their net. It's given away. Gauvin at the blue line, stepping in. Jada Gauvin pass to the slot, and that one just out of the reach. I believe it was Emma Bernal trying to extend the stick and find that one. Cheetahs swearing back. McKay working away behind the net. Pressure from Mathieu-Martin coming. McKay still with it. Gets poke checked. Here's Mathieu-Martin. High slot. The shot was blocked. Riley Peck. Moving outside the zone. Moving it back to the line. There's Feeney. Hustling back. Then sending it right back to Feeney. Although that would just slid off her backhand. Cut to the middle. It's Reed. Still with it. Loses possession. Gets it back. Izzy Reed. Far boards with it. Flutters that one in. Behind the net, it's Robichaud. Mylène Robichaud. Cuts back, now heads back behind her cage for safety. Over there hits Feeney. Across Boudreau, and a beautiful pass. Right to the table of Thibault, and she couldn't come up with it. Just out of the zone, this one will squeak. Robichaud. The back pass. No look for Babi, no. She wasn't there, so down the zone it'll go.
The CPA Allen Cheetahs, no strangers to semifinal magic, as last year they upset the L'Odyssée Olympienne, a team heavily favored to defeat them on the way to the finals where they faced Les Vedettes in the 49th edition of this tournament.
Feeney stepping in was bodied. Griffiths behind the cage. It's rimmed around, stopped in by Babineau, taken away by Madden. Robichaud. D to D across. Alexa Babineau in the middle. It's Feeney under her stick. Will now be recovered by the CPA defense. Skating up. There's McIver. Moving in. McIver. There's the shot. Scores!
Bar down the CPA Cheetahs. Strike first here. And like I said just a few minutes ago, not even a few minutes ago, a few seconds ago, these same Cheetahs, no strangers to semifinal magic. Doing the same thing last year to Les Olympiennes, this time going ahead of Les Vedettes.
Lauren McIver sends it bar down. There she is right there, make it 1-0 Cheetahs about midway through the first period.
What a goal. Bar down.
Cheetahs, goal scored by number 5.
Bullock up past the skates of Roy.
Vicker. Time of goal, 6 minutes and 41 seconds. Le but de CP Allen, fait par numéro 5.
Try to generate a breakout, moving back, Nelson. Up the wall, Alderson.
6 minutes et 41
Tried to flip that one high into the zone. Alosi Peck unable to get control of it. Roy, Lizat waits, tries to shoot, tries to get possession. Lizat side of the net to the slot. And covered up. Bit of rough stuff after the whistle, but Sophie Kidd.
It's going to be a real test of character to see how Les Vedettes respond to this, going down 1-0 against, to be frank, a team you'd expect to defeat, but now you're on the back foot here in the opening period in your home rink. See how they respond.
They have the crowd with them, but still a lot of hockey left to be played. And the puck is pinned near boards. At the ringette line, about everyone is in the scrum there. It's finally in between a feet of a vedette. I believe that was Gagnon who had been searching for it. Cheetahs attempt to clear. It's inside the zone, but delayed offside. Both linesmen have their hand up, but moved out. Riley Peck stepping in. She'll have a shot. That one's off the skate and inside Landry. You'll find it in the zone, almost turning it over. Walking out, here's Reed the shot, and that one just missed the net. Not by very much.
And the similarities to, I know I've spoken a lot about CPA's upset, but the similarities keep piling on as last year, l'Odyssée also started their secondary netminder in the semifinal. They were defeated by the Cheetahs.
Dixon at the blue line, the shot was blocked. Moved back in by Riley Peck. Taken away. What nice moves. Book surging through. Hits the break. She now finds it on her backhand. High slot. It's Feeney that was working her way up. The other way, Peck with it. Riley Peck gonna shoot from the blue line. That would tipped off the stick of Book and will find its way in the corner. Book, Boutin, back across. Now with Thibault there for a second. Out loose in the slot, LeBlanc corrals that one, only keeping it a 1-goal lead.
The first time in the tournament so far of the games we've done of the Mathieu-Martin Vedettes that they have, honestly so far, they've been on the back foot with CPA really dictating the momentum of play here as they've gone the majority of looks on net and even the first goal here.
Moving back in for CPA, it's McKay. Looks up towards the blue line. McIver keeping it in. The shot, and that one blocked and to be taken away by Gauvin. Gauvin with speed, still continuing the shot, turned away by Kidd. Feeney with the rebound. Looks up top. Here, Boutin, the shot. Feeney, the attempted deflection. Here's Boudreau in the near corner. Leaving it behind her, it's Hayward. Up the wall, this one blocked by Boudreau. Backhander will find its way behind the net. McIver in there for the Cheetahs. They battle for it. As there's two Vedette on one. Cheetah rimmed around by Nelson. This one might be icing. It looks like it'll be going that way. And it will get there. Less than 5 to go in the first period. Vedette at the line, waiting, cutting in. Robichaud the shot. That one was blocked before it could get to the net. Cheetahs back the other way. McKay in her feet with the Jets shooting this one in. It's a delayed offside. Cheetahs gonna have to leave the zone. Looks like outlet speed here was Babineau before shooting it in. 2:15s going at it. Dixon and Roy clash against the boards. It's the Cheetahs that win the battle. Outside the blue line, it'll go. With speed, cleared in by Reed. Far corner, first one there, McDonald. Finds its way out loose on the stick of a Vedette. It's Roy with a nice cut, still possession. Roy almost splitting the D. Lizotte in for reinforcements, tried to backhand that for Roy. Hits the brakes, a sharp angle shot. That one didn't hit the net. At the blue line, Robichaud. Cleared in, it's now in the corner. Peck battling with Lizotte, who tried to throw that one out in front. Pinching from the line here, Emma Landry. Lizotte, so turning herself around, trying to shake off a couple Cheetahs. Now Gagnon comes in for reinforcements after the puck's pinned. Landry at the line, barely able to keep it in. Moved across for Robichaud. Robichaud inside of the net. Kidd looks and covers.
So far, the Mathieu-Martin Vedettes are really starting to turn up the pressure here, having so far minimal problem really getting into CPA's zone. But when it just comes to, concreting on those chances that they're just getting unlucky, and nothing is just seeming to get past the CPA netminder.
And the Vedette really looking like they've controlled possession. As here they come in again. Mathieu-Martin the shot. And good CPA defense to deflect that one over the net. Two players going to go crashing in the far hash marks. Up to the line, it finds its way. There's a shot deflected. It was booked from the blue line. Run across. Landry catches this one in. Hash marks. Try to shoot it in. Now it's moved up just at the ringette line. And the Cheetahs bring this one out. Griffiths leading the rush. Tried to center, ends up getting her own little drop pass before it's taken away. Mathieu-Martin will fire it across. Faith Hayward into the zone as her team needs some changes. The Matador bring it out. Landry now taken down and spun around. Vedette out with speed. Hélène Boudreau winning the battle. Boudreau stepping in, cutting to her backhand, scores!
Hélène Boudreau knotting up this game at 1 apiece as Les Vedettes tie up this game here with less than 3 minutes to go in the first period. What a goal.
And just you smelt it coming. The Vedettes had dominated possession for the majority of the period, and Boudreau with the speed and the edges stepping in and lifting a backhand to the top shelf.
Yeah, backhand blocker side. Make no mistake, that's a goal any day of the week.
Will make your game a 1-1 hockey game. Feeney
Mathieu-Martin's
down in the
goal
zone. It's
scorer,
ridden
number
around by
24,
McIver.
Hélène Boudreau. Assisted
Shot
by
in
number 12,
Boutin.
Mélodie Boutin.
Looking outside the
First
zone.
goal, 12 minutes and 32
So make it
seconds.
Boudreau from Boutin here to tie this game up. Peck, Alosi Peck looking at her feet. Shot in, ridden around. Gauvin finding it in the far corner. Gauvin waiting, trying to find it in her feet. Poked loose. There's Alderson. Had launched that one out in front off the side of the net. Feeney working up the right-hand side. Gonna cut wide. Trying to separate the defenseman. Feeney to the net. And tied up there was Boudreau, as she wanted her second goal. Feeney behind the net. That one taken away by McIver. Alderson now being pinned. Lisa in the battle for a second. McIver in there as well as Nelson. It's shot and out in the neutral ice. Boutin circling back with it. She gets it here as it's shot up right into Nelson. Now she tries to cut her way in. Bois cutting wide. Bois still waiting for it.
Last minute
Looks
of
up.
play in the first period.
Rims back outside in the slot. And cleared outside the zone. It'll go. Robichaud waits across the red line. Robichaud skating up. Getting whacked by McCallum. Robichaud to her backhand. Still waiting. Cutting in the corner. Look at the elite edges. Vedette passing out in front. It ends up to the blue line. Barely held in Babineau. Skates by McCallum. Taken down. And fans looked like they wanted a call. Here's Roy circling around. Sharp angle shot will lift it up on Kidd. And there's the save made. And a whistle at 21.
Definitely could have been a penalty there, but the refs think otherwise here as we still remain at 1-1. 22 seconds left here in the first period of action in the first versus fourth semifinal of the women's division at the 50th Dieppe Classic.
Cheetahs with speed. It's Reed to the net. Save made by LeBlanc. Rebounds loose in the slot. Another try. Mathieu-Martin going up the boards. Still with possession. Kicks it onto her blade. Mathieu-Martin in, taken down, and that's going to be the call.
And there's the call that they've been searching for. That is a trip, clear as day.
With just under 2 seconds, it's going to be Dixon that heads to the box for a trip.
With 1 second left, the Mathieu-Martin Vedettes will start this second period with the man advantage.
And off the draw, cleared outside the zone. And 1-1 your score after one. Brina Lane and Diego Aragon. The Dieppe Uniplex semi-final action. It's the knockout stage here on MST. Vedettes 1, Cheetahs also 1. Your goals by Hélène Boudreau and Lauren McIver.
Penalty served to number 15, Danielle Dixon. 2 minutes for tripping. Time of penalty, 14 minutes and 59 seconds. La punition pour CP Allen. Servir numéro 15, Daniel Dixon. 2 minutes pour avoir trébuché. Temps de la punition, 14 minutes et 59 secondes.
we're off your second period between the Mathieu-Martin Vedettes and the CPA Cheetahs.
A very evenly played first period. And it comes out even the score. Lizotte cutting in, stopped at the blue line. Panthers, or the Cheetahs rather, they swerve back the other way. Shot in on the backhand of Reed and into the zone. Mathieu-Martin, first one back for Les Vedettes. Cutting back off for Gauvin. Gauvin waits, headmans the puck, it sees Lizotte. Lizotte to the middle. Up with steam there, Mathieu-Martin cutting wide, leaves off a pass, Gagnon. Book, Gauvin waits, fakes the shot. Lizotte, save made by Kidd. The rebound squeaks right loose to the side of the net. Everyone falling on top of each other. There's just over a minute left to go in the power play. And 4:05 left to go in period two. Going back, Gauvin sauces it over to Lizotte. Lizotte trying to find it in her feet and does. Lays a pass to the middle. That went in between the feet of Thibault. Goes to a Cheetah and down the ice it'll go. Looked like that was Riley Peck there on the clear. Around the boards, Boudreau to the middle. Walking in, Thibault with Roy. And they go offside, although that one looked questionable. Vedettes off the draw. Skating back with it. They still have 30 seconds to go on the power play. Around the net they go. Looking up top. Out of the reach of Roy, and they ice it on themselves on accident. Danielle Dixon waits to get out of the box. She has just 16 seconds left on that. Roy. Behind the net. They go up. Thibault. Trying to bring this one in here is Madden. Madden is pinned along the boards. Nixon out of the box. It's 5-on-5. Bring it up there. Boutin. Boutin races. Still with it. And it's poked free. As she goes falling down. Robichaud at the blue line. Catches, shoots this one in. Dixon along the boards. Robichaud catches this one in. Trying to break her way in. Gets the puck off the poke check. Robichaud waits. We'll just dump it in the zone. Trying to secure some possession. Around the boards it'll go. Boutin shoots. That one went behind the net. Dixon. Now up in a battle. Cheetahs break out. Danielle Dixon, the captain. Working through center. Off a skate there of Pitcher. But Les Vedettes will cover, and they go storming back the other way. Mathurin trying to cut across. She's hit by Dixon as she goes falling down. She's still down. Looked to have been a pretty hard hit. Landry across. Book waits, shoots. It's blocked. There's Mathurin still getting up as Mathieu-Martin had possession, not blowing the whistle. And Mathurin is going to slowly go off to the bench. CPA recovers. Shoots up the line right against the boards, and outside the middle it will go. Gagnon moving across for Bulk. Bulk up with steam along the red line. Into the zone, trying to cut back into the middle. Lizotte throws it to the line. Landry stepping in with a shot, and blocked by McIver. Has a goal and a clutch block right there. Gagnon behind the net. It'll find its way closer to the corner, rimmed along the boards. Landry's going to be there at the blue line. Accidentally will fire this outside in the neutral ice, caught by Bulk. Back against the wall. It bounces right to the middle. Gagnon's placed perfectly, but takes one extra step in. And that will draw Emma Bernard offside.
11:06 left in the second period. Again, a fantastic game we have here to open up the knockout stage of the 50th Dieppe Classic. Across from us, I believe at the AGL or the Co-op IGA, the Olympiennes are currently taking on Les Cavaliers in the other semifinal in the top bracket to see who will face the winner of the Vedettes versus Les Cheetahs.
And then our other semifinal brought out Feeney. Pass to the middle. Up with speed, it's Boudreau. Boudreau has Thibault with her. Boudreau, Thibault, and couldn't quite get the shot off. Bobino from the blue line caught in by Kidd, and that'll stop play. And while we have a break in play, Dio, can you explain the exact bracket system in the girls division?
Well, due to the girls division only having 8 teams, they've decided to have 2 elimination brackets with a top bracket and a lower bracket. The lower bracket being the consolation final, and the top bracket being the gold final. And in the gold final matchup, well, the semifinals, we have, as you're seeing right now, the Mathieu-Martin Vedettes, there's the CPA Cheetahs, and the Le Lycée Olympien, and the Clément Cormier Cavalier. And the rest of the brackets you can find at the official tournament website at dieppeclassic.ca, I believe. There you can see schedules, live results, and the brackets here.
So every female team guaranteed at least 4 games, as every team will at least make some sort of semi. Mathieu-Martin, she's off the bench and fine, going back the other way. In the corner where she was previously down, and now gets met up with McKay. Mathieu-Martin spinning around, trying to find the inner feet, protects the puck behind the net. McDonald off the feet of her teammate right in front. A loose chance. Mathieu-Martin pouncing on that one. Might have McDonald put it off the feet of Peck, and it ended up right in front of the net. Reed skating in for the Cheetahs. Dumped into the zone. Gauvin in the corner. Waits and spins and puts it behind the net where no one is occupying that space. Rimmed around by the MM defense. Como outside the zone with a backhand in the middle. Shot in by the Cheetahs. Looks like that's Babineau through center. Alexa Babineau cutting in, might have a lane to the middle, and the shot is wide. Lizotte behind the net. Pins the puck up against the boards. Now freed by Gagnon. It's in her feet as they still battle behind the net. One squeaks loose to the side of the net. Blue line now. And a miscommunication. Boutin had left the zone. It was Gauvin trying to get a pass off to her. CPA across the opposite side. Lizotte back for Gauvin. The pass almost got caught up right there with McDonald. It's Reed bringing it in the skates of Roy. Reed gets it back. There's the shot. Saved by LeBlanc. Again, this one rimmed along the boards, blocked in and shot out. Cheetahs back in the zone. LeBlanc stopping it behind her net. Boutin picking it up for Mathieu-Martin. Headmans the puck over to Thibault. Now to the middle, it's Gagnon. Yasmin Gagnon into the zone. Cuts by one, still at possession. Throws it up the wall. At the blue line, brought in by Boutin. Now she has to hold the line, and Will had pressure there from Millie Madden, who was voted an unsung hero at the awards banquet just moments ago. There's Rowe with the shot, saved by Kidd. Blue line, Gauvin waits, fires through traffic, and that one didn't hit the net. Looking for a deflection. Here's Roy. Gonna leave it off to the blue line for Boutin. This one squeaks high and will end up right with Pitcher. Sophie Pitcher turning on the Jets, still has possession to the middle and deflected off of the dead defenseman. Boudreau across the ice here at the red line, brought in by McIver. She has the first goal and the only goal for the Cheetahs. She breaks in, has her pocket picked there by Boutin as she lifted the stick successfully. Thibault, pass out. It's Boudreau, that one in the feet of Feeney as she enters the zone. Alexa Feeney walking in, tries a blast. Bulk finding at the line in her feet. Vedette going down in the net in front. This one still be held at the line. A shot to the net. They score!
Deflection goal, and the Vedettes pull ahead 2-1 here with 2 unanswered goals with 6:56 left in the second period.
We'll see who gets credit with the goal. Emmanuel Thibault, the first one on the line. So she'll find the tip out in front, or she will not. She's the one who shot it from the blue line.
Well, nonetheless, Les Vedettes get their lead here, and we have a 2-1 hockey game.
Retreating back, Emma Landry. Here's Bulk. Rimmed along the boards as Mathieu-Martin leaves the zone. Thibault, a pass out over the blue line. Boudreau skating in, trying to get around Dixon.
Mathieu-Martin goal, scored by number.
They still fight there in the corner, as I thought we were going to get the announcement of the goal here.
Number 16, Emmanuel Thibault. Time
Landry
goal, 8 minutes and
moving
4
back
seconds.
with pressure there from Peck.
Le but de Mathieu-Martin,
This one's going to be
pointé par
Thibault
numéro
unassisted.
16, Emmanuel Thibault. Le temps du but, 8 minutes
And
et
potential
4
2-on-1, a perfect developing play. Feeney across Mathieu-Martin, the backhand. That one goes behind the net of Kidd. Mathieu-Martin with it there behind the cage. It's found out in the corner. CPA to the blue line. Landry waits, leaves the backhand off. Intercepted by Dixon as she heads the other way. Danielle Dixon, far boards, cuts in the shot in the feet of Bulk. Still with it behind the net. Dixon turns around. No one there. High slot it goes, trying to jab at it. Avery Nelson just unable to put it in the net. They still fight for it. Nelson still trying to get the open puck. It's bouncing around every stick before it squirts out over towards the ringette line. And there, Cheetah going down to block. A great play. Riley Peck into the zone. Moving back, Riley Peck. Battling it with Lizot. This one shot rink wide. Here's Thibault, or Como rather. Off a shin pad, delayed offside. Bar outside the zone. Nelson, move to Peck. To the middle. First one there for it is going to be Landry of Lividette. Shot up and out of the zone. Dixon knocked it down. Trying to go over to her blue line. He's out. Blocked that pass, and Book picks off a pass. Now goes up against Nelson. Lividette still with it and unable to get a shot off there. So Robichaud will now have to retreat. Robichaud pass across. Gagnon headmans the puck right in neutral ice. Back with it there is Avery Nelson. Up the boards, a great hop. A good heads-up play. Danny Roy, I believe that was, to jump over the puck, or else that would have been too many men. Out of nowhere, Babineau getting the Cheaters on the change. The shot, save made by Kidd, and the rebound has just missed the net.
The Vedettes just mere inches away from extending their lead even more.
And Roy right in front, couldn't quite get the tip on it. And that very well could have been a 3-1 lead for Mathieu-Martin.
The Cheetahs here can breathe a sigh of relief as the Vedettes onslaught ends here. We'll have another look at the sequence of events here.
Babineau sending it in. And Kidd was not fooled. Babineau at the blue line. Backhanded in. McKay out with the Cheetahs, and she's in offside. Reed in there first. At the center, cleared in by Haywood. Babineau chasing on it here from Mathieu-Martin. Around Feeney to the middle, intercepted by McKay. McKay to Reed. Cleared it off the forehand behind the net, McDonald. They pound for it there, Boudreau and McKay. Finds it loose, here's Feeney dangling to the middle. Here's the shot made from McDonald. McKay now. Moving up there, Thibault shooting this one across. And there's a huge hit right next to the Mathieu-Martin bench. Alexis Feeney is down.
That was a loud hit. You can hear the boards crunching from all over the arena.
And Feeney is able to walk herself down to the room, shot on and save.
Wow.
And we'll see if we got a good look at it. And now after the crowd sees that, they wanted a penalty on it. They didn't get one. Vedette moving up with steam. Como down low. Lizard back up in the slot. Como looking for it. It's outside the zone. Hustling back. It's Gauvin. Moving that across for Boutin. Boutin, soft little dish off Mathieu-Martin. Mathieu-Martin in the zone, evades one. Mathieu-Martin still with possession behind the net. She has it on her backhand, thrown out in front. It's loose, now taken by Pitcher. Sophie Pitcher through the middle. Poke check taken away as Gagnon is now pinned up against the boards. That's a Cheetah that goes down. Como back toward the fence. Gauvin across for Boutin. Pass intended through center, redirected. That's for Roy, who's just getting off the bench in a change. Less than 2 to go. Here's Peck, a spinorama. Don't know if that was on purpose. Looked more like Lane Hudson there.
Cheetahs with a pretty risky change there. Almost getting the too many men on the ice call, but getting lucky and scraping by.
Now behind the net. Here it's 13. It's Bernal. Getting physical as they push each other behind the net. Bernal, luckily the stick didn't get up high. CPA trying to clear, kept in by Gauvin. It's not, it hops over his stick, but she does manage to keep it in. Bernal still waiting in the zone. Looking up top, but a one-timer. And this one will slowly go on the net of Kidd.
Just 1 minute, just over a minute left before he fled the ice going into the second intermission here. The Vedettes still holding on to a very, very narrow lead. And Roth, Vedettes with the puck.
Another shot from Feeney off a blocker. Boudreau going across the net. Now up top, waiting. Landry.
Last minute of
This
play
one down.
in
It's banked
the
behind the
second
net.
period. Dernière minute de jeu de la deuxième période.
To the blue line. Bulk lets one go. Into the corner it finds. Boudreau sending this one behind on her backhand. Feeney up top. Leblanc waits, tries to go to Bulk. That one out of her reach. And now here she's down in the zone. Feeney cutting, finding it on her backhand. Had it poke checked, and this one out of the zone. This one's a late icing. Chasing for it hard here is Alosi Peck, and she will just be unable to touch this one up.
With about 26 seconds left here, Brain, what do you think will be the keys for each team to advance to the gold medal game here?
Ooh, it's really just going to be the defense. CPA's defense has been stellar thus far. As the Vedettes, they've just been surging in their own end. The Cheetahs need to find their way just for some easy, clean breakouts. Like right here, that is what has been causing them some goals so far as Mathieu-Martin keeps it in. Mathieu-Martin, the pass out in the middle. Maya Como almost got the backhand now on that. Now she goes under the blue line. Landry waits and cuts. That one taken away. Alosi Peck shooting this one in. This one delayed icing. But the clock will hit all zeros before refs can blow the whistle. That's been the second period. 2-1 Vedette in the 1 versus 4 semifinal here at MST. Brayden Elaine and Diego Aragon with you from the Dieppe Uniplex. Up there's McIver moving in. McIver, there's the shot, score! Now with Thibault there for a second. Oh, loose in the slot. LeBlanc winning the battle. Boudreau stepping in, cutting to her backhand, score! Cheetahs with speed. It's Reed to the net. Save made by LeBlanc. Going up the boards. Still with possession, kicks it onto her blade. Mathieu-Martin in, taken down. That's Gagnon. Bulk. Gauvin waits, fakes the shot. Lizard, save made by Kidd. Up at speed, it's Boudreau. Boudreau has Thibault with her. Boudreau, Thibault, and couldn't quite get the shot off. Babino from the blue line caught in by Kidd. Got caught up right there with McDonald. It's Reed bringing it in the skates of Roy. Reed gets it back. There's the shot. Save. Vedette going down in the net in front. This one still be held on the line. A shot to the net. They score! And a perfect developing play. Feeney across. Mathieu-Martin. The backhand. That one goes by. Jump over the puck, or else that would have been too many men. Out of nowhere, Babineau getting the cheaters on the change. The shot. Save made by. Moving up there. Thibault shooting this one across. And there's a huge hit right waiting in the zone. Looking up top of the wall. One-timer. And this one will slowly.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first semifinal of the 50th annual Dieppe Classic in the women's division. We have the CPA Cheetahs and the Mathieu-Martin Vedettes in a rematch of last year's gold medal game in this very same division. The Vedettes looking to repeat as champions, while the CPA Cheetahs look to get back to the gold medal game and try to get a different result and take home the banner back to Halifax. And here we go. Vedettes control the puck here. Como going up the ice. He's hounded by some cheetahs. CPA looking to get the first opportunity of the game here. So far, the Vedettes really dominating the forecheck here. Vedettes controlling the puck, misplayed pass back into the zone. And fashionably late as always, my co-commentator, Braden Alain.
No, we're locking in, having to rush from the bench. Here we go. First semifinal action. It's the 1-versus-4 game. The Vedette going a perfect 3-0. The Cheetahs, I believe, 1-2 or 2-1. Regardless, both teams clashed here at the Uni, the first elimination game. At the red line, it's going on. The battles up between two Cheetahs.
No more room for mistakes here as we enter the final stages of this tournament. Win or go home. Banner on the line. Well, not on the line tonight, but an opportunity to play for the banner is on the line for these teams.
And I imagine you probably mentioned this. It's a rematch from the finals last year. The two teams, Mathieu-Martin and CPA, met up in the finals last year, and it was the Vedette that took that one. Boudreau trying to set that one in front. It was knocked away by McLean. Cheetahs outside the zone here as they sturge through the middle. Walking in, cutting to the slot. There's the shot. And that one turned away by LeBlanc as it just went wide. Robichaud waiting in her own end. Throwing this one up along the boards. He just chasing. And all players on their respective benches as everyone gets fired up for this third period.
Period 3 out of 3 here. A spot in the gold medal game on the line here. And we're off.
And it's won by the Cheetahs. It's Reed that brings it in, and okay, we're gonna ignore the buzzer.
And for once, it's our scoreboard that's the one ahead.
And usually when players hear the buzzer, they just stop regardless. I guess this time we don't matter. Dixon shooting this one up, McKay. McKay skates around in her own zone before trying to headman the puck over to Reed. That one skips over the stick of Babineau. Babineau moving back for it for Lividet. Cuts and shimmies, and that gets a Losi Peck off her tail. Helen Boudreau across. Fenny stepping in. Fenny cutting wide, now cutting in. Backdoor on the high slot. Looked like that was Boudreau, who couldn't quite get much power on her backhand. It was an awkward shot placement. Robichaud moving back. He takes a fall after making a pass, so she ends up almost in her own crease. Finney. Babineau to Roy. Roy in a foot race with McKay. Roy still skates up with it, pass to the middle. Flipped up, Gagnon waits, tries a shot. Now puts it back in the slot. Dixon taking this one up. This one hit the linesman, I believe, went into the bench. Well, here now we actually get buzzers.
Ref's going to readjust the score clock here.
And it looks like they're pointing up at our scoreboard.
Well, that's at MST first.
Are they going to say our scoreboard's right? Wow, that they put the time that we had.
That is an MST first. Very proud moment for us at MST for once having the right scoreboard.
Obviously, our scoreboard not perfectly manipulated to copy down every number of the actual scoreboard. They're all approximations within about a second or two. But the clock seemed to start a bit late, so they take off about 8 seconds. CPA in their own end. Shooting that one up is Hayward. She gets it over to Avery Nelson, who enters the zone. Nelson and Boutin go up against the wall. In there as well as McCallum. Vedette outside the zone. Mathieu-Martin hitting the brakes. It's in her feet. Almost gets hit. Manages to do a nice dangle on accident. There's a hit on McCallum. Upset as she gets to the bench.
CPA bench wanting a penalty as one of their players is hit on the way back to the bench.
Gauvin cutting wide. Gauvin looking out in front. The attempted one-timer for Helen Boudreau. Tried to get her second in the game. Boudreau still whacking at it on her backhand. Blue line, Boutin waits. This one's cleared into the zone. In the corner, pressure up against the wall, looking up, ramping over. The stick of a Vedette will go to the blue line and just out. And there's a hit by Boudreau, and there she's going to get called.
The MM supporters are really not happy with that call here, as CPA will go to the power play here in the third period. We'll have another look at that. And yeah, it's a shoulder-to-shoulder hit right there.
Wasn't the hardest of body checks, but definitely should be considered a body check. So CPA to the power play. There's a shot on net. The rebound is just wide of the net. A great chance for the Cheetahs. And now Reed cuts to the middle, trying the shot, and then goes to the blue line. Waiting, shooting this one in, saved by LeBlanc. Recovered by Bork as she clears it down the opposite end of the ice. Riley Peck skating around. She's trying to shake off, I believe that's Gagnon, disrupting.
2 minutes for body checking. Time of penalty, 3 minutes and 6 seconds. La punition pour Mathieu-Martin.
Around the net with it, McKay. Looks out, she's in the corner on her backhand, has some pressure, gets pinned up by Olivia Bork. Mathieu-Martin out of the zone, it's shot right through the Cheetah defenseman. Boudreau going to show her appreciation in the box. Peck trying to get this one outside the zone. Lizette moving down past McKay. Still a great effort shorthanded here on this CPA power play. Moving up through center, cleared in. Behind the net, Boutin. Rimmed around, caught it at the blue line. Shot down, passed. I believe that's Reed, picked up by Gauvin. Gauvin around the opposite side. Boutin, first one there for Les Vedettes. Outside the zone, it'll go. Being deflected off the tape of Lizette. CPA again, the clear. They have it in neutral ice. Waiting for it, winding in. McKay cuts left. There's the shot. Save made by the blocker.
And that's a clutch save.
And here might come another one as the puck went to the side of the net. Vedette behind their net. It's Gauvin. Across, here it's Thibault. Thibault to the middle, turned over, walking in. Here's Nelson with the shot. Blockered away. LeBlanc in the net. Reed put down McKay. McKay waits, gets around Gauvin. Her teammates go for changes. Sent back by Reed. Behind the net, Gauvin. Gets angled out by McKay. It's McKay and Gauvin behind the net. They battle as they both shove each other. In comes reinforcements. Reed looking in front. Her players down. Now turn around. McKay. That one took a weird hop on where McKay had expected it. Cheetahs keep it in the line. Pass in the middle. Reed trying to get a shot off, but just fanned on it. As now Bernal comes back the other way. Emma Bernal skating in, trying to move it to the middle. Good defense played by the captain, Danielle Dixon. Here's Roy. Bernal. That one gets kicked off her tape as the Cheetahs try to escape, going the opposite way. Boutin. Shot across. Bulk. Waiting. Passing, threading the needle through center. Cheetahs bring it back the other way. It's shot in by Peck. Elosi Peck. After the dump in, chasing the puck. Peck still with it. Just slid off her stick. Goes to the blue line. Riley Peck trying to get a shot off. Didn't quite get the shot, but does move it deeper into the zone. There's another chance out in front. It's Rindle on the boards. Moving in and shooting that in is Dixon. Behind the net, Landry. Waits. Pass across, Bernal. This one chopped in at the line by Peck. And it's touched up by Gagnon. It looks like this will be an offside call against CPA. So getting down to the midway stage of the third period. The Vedette de Mathieu-Martin still only up by 1 goal. In a do or die hockey game. Como up past the red line, trying to get that to Lizette. Como still with it in the corner. Maya Como hits behind the net. It's Nelson, the turnaround, attempting to clear. Vedette keep it in. Lizette cuts wide. Now to the middle. Lizette still can't get a hold of it. It's loose in the slot. Kidd with the save. Another try. And Lizette couldn't quite get the handle on it. So outside the zone, it will go. It will roam free. Landry off the boards. Chasing up Madden. Millie Madden still with it with a nice move. Pass across. Here's Griffiths to the net. Madden able to get it. That's taken by Landry, and she'll swarm behind her net. Landry filtering out to the center. Lizette one-on-one, trying to get to the legs, and does, just without possession. Covered by a Kidd in the net.
As we enter the waning stage of the third period, so far across the league in the other women's top bracket semifinal, les Clément Cormier Cavaliers lead the l'Odyssée Olympienne 2-0. The number 3 versus number 2 matchup. Winner of that takes on the winner of this match.
Tipped outside the zone. Vedette regrouping. It's Robichaud across Thibodeau. That was Babineau rather, but now walking in McCallum. Georgie McCallum to the net. It's deflected, and this one's going to miss. Here's Hayward looking behind her net. Now must go up to the hash marks. Hayward. Down low behind the net. Robichaud waits as it's now outside. Stretch pass. That one's going to be out of the reach of Feeney. She now hounds Riley Peck, turns towards the boards. And there's Feeney and Boudreau. Both after each other, both whacked for it. It's cleared out of the pile. Dixon far boards, jumbled up, blocked in by Feeney. Back for Dixon as she retreats. Cleared back up along the board, shot back in by Babineau. To the middle, Feeney looking after it, got tied up, still loose. There's Peck searching for it. Back along the boards, and Babineau into the zone. Dixon moved around here. Robichaud skates up, down in the middle. Taken up, here's Sarah McKay. McKay in for the Cheetahs, finding some open ice. McKay, the turnaround shot, and misses wide. The rebound almost bounced right back to the side of the net. Babineau turned around the boards. To the blue line it goes. Kept in, but there's a block. Reed watches, tries to move to the front of the net, and backdoor waiting with McDonald, but couldn't get a stick on it. Roy out of the zone. Here's Daniel Roy, still skating in, but offsides. We get down. We have less than 5 minutes.
The Vedettes just 4 minutes and 43 seconds away from going back to the gold medal game here, trying to defend their crowns in the 50th edition of the tournament.
And still no update on how the Olympiennes are currently doing. There's another save made by Kidd, or rather the Cavaliers. They are up 2-0 on les Olympiennes. Last update we had, they were just ending the first period. Drop from the blue line, went off his skate. McDonald to the blue line. Gauvin trying to keep this one in. McDonald goes cross ice. Out of the reach of Reed. Boutin skating this one in. Poke checked and went right through the legs of Nelson. Luckily, Izzy Reed right there. Reed still with it. Puts on some steam. Reed, backhander. That one flies behind the net. As now McKay gets pinned up against the boards by Como. That's put to the net. Leblanc will cover.
.356 left here. Time winding down. Cheetahs desperately attempting to put together one final surge of attack to finally come back and not only tie but try to win this hockey game here, as a spot in the gold medal game is on the line.
It's all going to be decided within one goal. I don't see this game going any more than one, unless in fact Les Vedettes do shoot it in an empty net. But unless the next goal is scored without a goaltender, this is a one-goal game.
And a very entertaining one at that.
And this is just only getting us excited for the finals coming up tomorrow. It's around noontime. And here's Boudreau skating this one in. Feeney behind on her backhand. Feeney leaves this one behind the cage. Looking, here's Book. Or that's Boudreau rather. Book's at the far point. Behind the boards, Feeney waits, looks, goes right up top to Landry. Landry gets the shot, but she gets trucked. And the Vedettes bench wanted a penalty. This is going to go all the way to Leblanc. She's going to leave this one out for Book.
It's the second time today we've seen a big hit, and the Vedettes bench and supporters are really not happy with it.
Feeney trying to cut in. She was promptly swept away. Clear out there by Alosi Peck. Shot in by Landry. Now here, Gagnon racing in on her backhand. Roy rates in front. Gagnon now behind for Roy, who made her way behind the net. And Roy got the stick up high, and a Cheetah was sent down. Again, nothing called. Roy, or that's Gagnon with it behind the net, rather. Now steered off for Bernal. Bernal trying to leave it behind the net. As Les Vedettes, they like to do that play where one person follows another and they leave it behind the net. McCallum, that was McIver rather, outside the zone. Skating back with it. Babino on her own blue line now, retreats, and then sees the target Roa through center. Her backhand pass didn't go as planned, and down the ice, it'll be icing against the Cheetahs. It looks like we're down less than 2 to go.
1:47 left here.
And Avon View, they're currently up 2-0 on the Saints of St. Max in the consolation bracket. Here, tie up off the draw. Rimmed around the boards, Boutin. Riley Peck waits, tries to go up to the boards. Robichaud in, dangling the shot, and snatched out of the air. Right into the oven mitt of Kidd.
CPA is going to try to break out of their own zone here to try to pull out their goaltender for the extra attacker here, as just 1 minute and a half remain here. Winner go home, semifinal action. You don't want to miss it.
But to pull the goalie, you got to get offensive zone possession first and out of your zone. Not too many teams pull the goalie. Well, the other team has possession in their zone. The Vedette surging, top of the slot. Just unable to get a shot off. Blast from the line, blocked. It's out of the end. Robichaud sends it in. Circling behind is McKay. Sarah McKay cutting through center. Makes 3 nice moves, gets around 3 Vedette. And there goes Kidd out of the net. It's a 6-on-5. Now put out into the slot. Only one there. Boutin. Boutin skates back. And it looks like the trapper of Kidd is still outside the door. Cheetahs still trying to work their way in. The trapper is inside the CPA bench now. Behind the net, it's Reed trying to center that one out. It finds its way up to the line. Dixon waits and shoots. Fanned on it, taken out by a Vedette player. This one looks good, and it's just missed wide.
34 seconds left, and the CPA Cheetahs will have a absolutely crucial offensive zone face-off here, and it will be a timeout called.
Apologies for potentially getting some hopes up. I thought that was going to be center of the empty net, but it just misses wide. We'll be back in just under a minute. CPA, Mathieu-Martin, 1-goal game, 30 seconds left in our first semifinal. After a quick timeout, we're back to try this one again. Face off to the right of LeBlanc, 6-on-5. Crucial face off when needed, and it's the Vedette that are victorious. Nelson trying to find her way into the corner. Vedette are just going to try to pin this one up. Taken out by the Cheetahs. It's loose. Searching for possession. This one looks like it's way wide, and it is. So even less time for the empty net goal, but anything is possible.
14.1 here.
Here a tie-up off the draw. Still won by Le Vedette. Babino across to Lisette. She's going to find it at the blue line. Dixon trying to clear. Shot out. This one looks good, and it's still wide. Now just 2.6. Again, another one I got wrong.
I think that ice should do it.
Unless they can quickly get this one off the draw and into the net.
All the Vedettes have to do, even just land on the puck, that should be enough.
They're just going to try to tie this one up off the draw. It's sent to the slot and cleared. And the Vedettes are in the final.
And the Mathieu-Martin Vedettes will go to back-to-back finals as they await the winner of the Clermont-Colmier Cavalier and the l'Odyssée Olympienne in the final match tomorrow at midday, right here on MST. The Vedettes, the Mathieu-Martin, will look to go back-to-back.
And at the end of the second, last time we checked, the Cavaliers were up 4-1 on Les Olympiennes. So not looking good for them, but thank you for joining us, Brandon Lane and Diego Aragon from the Dieppe Uniplex here at MST, the 50th annual Dieppe Classic.
And join us after a short break as the Commandant de Collège Lévis will take on the Saint-Jean-Eudes Condal in the men's Division II quarterfinal right on MST.
It's a Quebec showdown.
There's no player of the game, just laissez-vous savoir, there's only in the preliminary round, no player of the game. No player of the game, il n'y a pas de joueur du match. Félicitations aux deux équipes. We only do the player of the game during the preliminary round.